Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something you use every single day, but maybe don't think about as a professional superpower. I'm talking about verb tenses. Now you might be thinking, grammar, really? But in the tech world, a tiny, tiny shift in a verb can have absolutely huge consequences. And in this explainer, we're going to show you exactly how. All right, so take a look at these two sentences right here. At first glance, they seem almost identical, don't they? But in a tech context, the difference between them is just massive. The one on the left describes a permanent, reliable state, the kind of thing you'd write in your public documentation. But the other one, oh, that's what you tell your team in a status update right after you've finally squashed a major bug. Big difference. And that's exactly why we're digging into this today. Think about it. In your code comments, in your project updates, or in a really critical bug report, choosing the right tense can be the difference between crystal clarity and a costly mistake that sends a developer down the wrong path for hours. In tech, as you know, precision is everything. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We'll start with why this stuff matters in tech. Then we'll look at a timeline for action, meet the tense families, compare them in action, and then wrap up with the big picture. All right, let's dive right into our first section. So why should you, as someone in tech, actually care about verb tenses? I mean, this isn't about passing some grammar test, right? No, it's about having the right tools to communicate with absolute precision in an industry that moves at lightning speed. Just think about reporting a bug for a second. If you say, the API failed, okay, that's a simple fact. It happened. But what if you say, the API was failing when the script ran? See? That's a huge clue. It tells your team that it was a temporary, ongoing problem happening at a very specific moment. That kind of precision, it saves time, it saves money, and trust me, it saves a lot of headaches. Okay, so to really get how these tenses give us so much power and control, we gotta go back to basics, back to the one thing every single verb tense is built on, the idea of time. And really, it all comes down to this super simple timeline, past, present, and future. But here's where the magic comes in. English tenses do way more than just place an action on this line. They let us show if it's a single point in time, if it's a continuous event, or, and this is super important, how different actions on this timeline actually connect with each other. So how do we turn this timeline into something we can actually use? Well, I like to think of them as tense families. Think of them like 4 specialized toolkits you have, with each one designed for a very specific job. So here's the 30,000-foot view. You've got simple tenses for the basic facts, progressive tenses for when you're in the middle of something, perfect tenses, they connect the past to what's happening now, and perfect progressive tenses, well, that's what you grab when you need to talk about how long something took. Let's do a real quick dive into each one. First up, the simple tenses. You can think of these as your workhorses. They're for stating facts. When you say, the script checks the database every hour, you're not just saying it's happening right now. You're saying it's a general truth, a routine, a habit for the system. It's just what the system does. Next up, the progressive tenses. That ing at the end of the verb, that's your big signal that you're right in the middle of an action. So the developer is debugging. That means it's happening right this second and it's a temporary thing. The whole focus is on the process, that it's ongoing. Okay, now we've got the perfect tenses. These are cool. The action itself, like updating the website, happened in the past. But by using has, you're building a bridge from that past action directly to right now. The result is what matters now. The website is updated. It's all about that present relevance. And last but not least, the perfect progressive tenses. With these, the focus shifts completely to one question: how long? The important thing isn't just that the testing is happening, it's that it's been happening for a specific amount of time, say 2 hours, right up until now. This is absolutely essential for progress reports when you need to show how much effort you've put in. All right, so we've met the families. Now for the fun part. Let's put them side by side in some real-world tech scenarios. This is where we see those subtle but super powerful differences in action. This is where the theory really hits the road. So we're back to our very first example, and hopefully it's crystal clear now. The system works well. That's a statement about how it always is, right? Perfect for your product manual. But the system is working well now. That's what you say after a huge outage. It implies, phew, we fixed it. It's a temporary, hard-won victory, and that context is everything for your team. Here's another great one for a project update. If you say, I have written the documentation, you're telling your manager, hey, the task is done, check it out.
But if you say, I have been writing the documentation, you're saying, I'm not done, but I'm making progress, and here's how much time I've put in. See? One is all about completion, the other is all about the ongoing effort.
And this one's awesome for future planning. On the left, we will have completed the app by Friday. You're making a promise. You're committing to a finished product for your stakeholders. On the right, we will have been developing it for 3 months. You're highlighting a milestone. You're talking about the journey, the effort invested up to that point. Totally different messages about future progress. Now, of course, to actually use these tenses, you've got to get the spelling right. We're not going to do a deep dive here, but just keep a few of these key rules in mind. Like doubling that N in planning. Getting these little details right is a huge part of communicating like a pro. Okay, let's pull back and look at the big picture. We've been in the weeds with the details, but why does this really, truly matter for your daily work and for your career in tech down the line? Because at the end of the day, this verb tense toolkit gives you total control over these 5 things. You can show exactly when an action happens, how long it goes on, whether it's finished, if it's still in progress, and how it connects to other events. This right here, this is the foundation of clear, powerful communication in tech. And really, that's the key takeaway here. Mastering verb tenses isn't just some academic exercise to sound smart. It's about being a better teammate. It's about writing documentation that people can actually understand and use. Ultimately, it's about becoming a more valuable, effective professional. So what we've done today is really a high-level overview. Think of it like we've given you the map of the whole territory. In our next lessons, we're going to dive way deeper. We'll explore each of these tense families with a ton more examples and exercises to really get these skills sharp. So I want to leave you with a challenge for this week. The next time you're about to write a project update or a commit message or a bug report, just pause for 1 second. Ask yourself, how can I use a more precise verb tense here to make this clearer? You'll be amazed at how much time and confusion you can save for your team.
Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. We can't wait to see you in the next one as we continue to level up your English for technology skills. See you then.